Today, we're basically going to be talking about an all-time classic. If I could go ahead and just be super clear and wish that home buyers followed a specific process when they were out there viewing homes and meeting with real estate agents and just doing things that I wish that they were doing right 90% of the time. Good God. Look, today's video is about the first-time home buyer process. I told myself I would not release a video like this for a long time because this is like kindergartner. This is like beginning of real estate energy right over here. But you know what? It is those fundamentals that we need to talk about in order for us to ensure that you don't end up losing freaking money, or you don't end up like having slamming into an emotional wall when you are out there viewing homes, when you are out there trying to sell a property, when you're out there trying to basically do anything in regards to real estate. And they always start off with the basics of the basics. So I don't want you to look at this video as, okay, what is the first time home buyer process? I want you to basically look at it as whether you're a homeowner right now and you're contemplating moving up, or whether you are somebody who is a first time home buyer, or whatever happened in life and you're going to basically contemplate your next or third purchase. For some reason, you may not be a homeowner. It always starts off with the first step. And that is not, hey, let me call up my buddy and just start viewing homes or start walking into open houses, even though I think that's a nice start to basically see if you're even ready. But I'm not going to get into the whole psychology of it. I am going to say that, you know what? It is the first step, and the most important step is pre-qualification, knowing your number. I'm going to break this down into 4 phases. There is pre-qualification, home buying process. I don't want to say first time home buyer process, but home buying process. And that is pre-qualification, phase 1. Phase 2, once you know your numbers, is going out there and viewing properties and kind of getting feel for the market and seeing exactly how things are going. A lot of the times, whenever you think real estate, people are going to be like, well, you know, the market sucks and this is not a fantastic time. Everyone's a goddamn economist, aren't you? Shut the hell up. The reason for buying a house, the reason for the living space, the requirement of owning a home is foundational stability of yourself. Like, there is like 100 reasons, and there is a list that I told ChatGPT to come up with. But the first and foremost thing is lifestyle. Can you put a price on a lifestyle? Yes. Is a requirement for having a good lifestyle a home? In my opinion, absolutely. The area that you purchase in, the location that you buy in, the location where you are central to when you wake up in the morning and start going about your day, from going to your coffee shop, your grocery store, your religious community centers, your whatever. That is you. That is your identity. Everyone's going to basically start off with saying, not a good time to buy, or it is a fantastic time to buy. Once again, shut the hell up. It depends on your situation. It depends on your need. It depends on your stage of life. It depends on the kids are growing up and they need more space. It depends on, okay, this house is too much to manage and we need to basically sell so we can downsize and we can move into a next home. First and foremost, guys, it always starts off with pre-qualification. Then it starts off with viewing the properties, and viewing the properties with the right real estate agent, right? Like when we're out there representing you in a real estate transaction, we are representing your best interest. And it doesn't just always depend on, okay, can you get me the cheapest price possible? No, it depends on the terms. Okay, does the closing date work for you? Basically, you want somebody on your side that is going to be thinking, but you're going to be asking them questions going like, you know what? I'm considering buying a house in, let's say, Kleinberg in Vaughan, thinking of a 5-bedroom detached property with 5 bathrooms, a finished basement, for example. I'm thinking like, how can I think 20 steps ahead in terms of the problems that this person is going to face? And how about we focus on some of those issues so they don't either hit a financial wall or an emotional wall for any type of reason, and that we keep a smooth momentum going. Your real estate agent is your, imagine the guy with 2 bats, your client's in front and he's just swapping and whacking and pushing the bad things away that can end up affecting you. And you got blinders on and, earmuffs on, and you have no freaking clue what the hell you're going to end up coming across as far as a problem until the problem is there. So the third phase is making an offer. And that is where, the mindset has to be, is like, okay, how much risk are you taking when you make an offer? Now, the right way and the perfect way, myself and you sit down and we have a conversation about the entire real estate transaction and the ecosystem, and life don't work that way. So you gotta have somebody who's gonna be like, okay, you know what? Why don't we start off by viewing homes, drinking some coffee, and I'll guide you in terms of the information that you need to know at that phase, at that time. Sometimes people are like, you know what? I just want to start viewing homes. No pressure. Not a problem. Okay, no problem. Give me a phone call. And by the way, I was supposed to do this little intro, plug it in somewhere in the video. This is going to take a little while for me to remember. Hi, I'm Ali Tunio. Drop your real estate questions and stories in the comments below. And if you want to view homes in the GTA, check out my links and we'll hop on a Zoom call to talk about your case. And what that means is that, hey, we'll just have some preliminary conversation. We'll talk a little bit about you, what the heck your situation is like, what are you thinking, what's on your mind, and then after that, we'll just book a showing, right? And that's my point. Like sometimes you just want to start off with no pressure, start viewing homes, because while viewing homes, you might realize, oh, well, you know what? If the amount of effort, time, preparation it takes to basically start viewing homes, to start buying properties, maybe it's not the right time for you and your family to enter the market, to buy a house, to sell a house, to do anything to do with real estate, even though you may have a need, but it's not an urgent need as of yet. By the time you get to phase 3, which is actually, let's make an offer, you might realize maybe this is not for you. Let's say we got to phase 3. And now you're making an offer. It depends on the terms of home financing, home inspection, appraisal. Where is it in the buying and selling process where you can end up suffering a loss because the bank is going to appraise your property, the subject property that you have an offer on that is now gone unconditional 60 days ago. The bank is only trying to ascertain its current value before they advance you the loan or whatever form of financing you're utilizing 2 weeks to 3 weeks before possession. And you kind of go like, oh shit, I offered $1.8 million for this house. And I hope to God that the bank's appraisal, the appraising company that the bank has utilized, has had enough of his coffee in the morning and he actually appraises the home at or above what you offered. Because if you don't, guess who's responsible for coming up with the difference? The bank is going to advance you, let's say, $1.6 million instead of the 1.8 you offered. Homes in Kleinburg are worth way more, but I'm just giving you an example. Okay, welcome to the Greater Toronto Area. Turns out that the bank is going to offer you 1.6, but you offered 1.8 with a $200,000 deposit or a $100,000 deposit. What are you going to do then? You're responsible for coming up for the difference. And that's exactly why there's a lot of steps that go into making sure that before I submit an offer on your behalf to a seller and have you go down that rabbit hole, I'm thinking 20, 30 steps ahead in terms of what kind of problems are we looking at in the event that this house is overpriced. And then you know that, oh, the real estate agent was just looking out for his commission and he just kind of rushed the transaction. And well, we didn't know that in this market, we could actually get away with a home inspection condition, a home financing condition, and we could be more protected because the environment is allowing us to do so. Because in the last 15 years, homes in the Greater Toronto Area, if you submitted an offer with the home inspection and a home financing condition, you're not getting into the market. Yeah, gravy times for home sellers, right? But excellent time for home buyers right now. A home seller is also a home buyer, right? It's a game of balancing over here. So that's phase number 3. And number 4 is closing and moving in. And you'll be like, well, what the hell do I need a real estate agent for that? You know, there is such a thing as supervising the transaction until the keys are in your hand. I can't tell you how many times I've had conversations or deals essentially with people where I kind of go like, if we knew that the bank, they had an objection in regards to the deal itself when they're not going to advance the funds prior to the closing date or the closing week, that would have been helpful. And that could have easily been resolved by the real estate agent doing something what I call deal supervision until the keys are in your hand. You know, when I say that, hey, it ain't over until the fat lady really sings, it ain't over until the fat lady sings and she says, congratulations, you're a homeowner. Done. But if you're not, what the hell are you celebrating for? Even though the MLS says sold like 60 days ago. They're closing now. You only get good at shit when things have gone wrong in the middle of deals, right? And that's how you get the confidence to be able to talk like this and talk about the real estate transactions. Anyways, don't share this with someone whom you don't want to benefit. Yeah, but you know, share this with someone if you really want them to get some unfiltered, blunt real estate advice is that, hey, you have a habit of getting yourself into situations where you're gonna screw up, you're gonna suck, you're gonna lose some money, and you just do nothing right. Share this video with them. Because I promise you, if they contact me and I'm showing them homes, I'd be like, nah, dumbass. Nah, you don't do that. You don't do XYZ situation. Or if I'm going to allow you to do something in a real estate transaction, it's going to be where something that you can come back from. You're not going to lose any money. And we'll talk about it. So yeah, remember to drop your real estate questions and stories, especially. I would love that in the comments below. And if you want to view homes in the Greater Toronto Area, or you want to basically get some honest feedback and opinion in regards to what is the state of your current real estate investments or home, feel free to jump on a Zoom call with me, or let's go out for a coffee and we'll figure out what the hell's happening with your case. And I'm happy to help you out. And I'll see you in the next video.